Hey, I'm talking to you. Yes, the person watching this video.
Yo.
What's up?
Welcome back to Sportx Radar, where
All right, let's get right into it. We're constantly told that football and betting are partners, right? But is that what's really going on? Or is the beautiful game facing something, well, a lot more sinister? We're going to break down the evidence and ask a really tough question. Is football actually losing its soul to the odds?
Just to get a sense of the scale here, look at this number, 27,440. That's how many gambling-related messages fans were hit with during just the opening weekend of the 2025 Premier League season. Not the whole season, a single weekend. It's a relentless barrage, turning the sport we love into a non-stop 90-minute ad for betting.
So let's just stop calling this a partnership. Because it's not. It's more like an infection, a virus, really. The sport hasn't just teamed up with the gambling industry, it's become its main host, its primary vehicle for a system where the health of the game is being traded for betting margins.
So you have to ask, how did we get here? Well, this first part, we're calling it the saturation machine. It's all about the commercial dependency that's turned the game into a massive move-in billboard for the betting industry.
This slide really lays it all bare. You've got this huge economic divide in the Premier League. The so-called Big Six clubs, they're pulling in massive deals with airlines, tech giants, big finance. But for the other 14 teams, it's a totally different story. Almost 80% of their front-of-shirt sponsorships come from gambling companies. They're basically caught in a dependency trap, where betting money is often the only money on the table.
And see, this level of saturation, it doesn't just change how the game looks, it fundamentally changes the risks the game faces. And that brings us to the most dangerous symptom of this virus, corruption's surgical strike and the scary new face of match fixing.
We're not talking about the old cliché of a goalie deliberately letting a shot in. No, the threat today is way more sophisticated. It's called spot fixing, and it's all about manipulating tiny, specific moments inside a match. A single yellow card, a corner kick, even a throw-in. It's so insidious because it doesn't even have to affect who wins or loses the game, which makes it incredibly hard to spot.
And this isn't just some abstract theory. We've seen major investigations into elite players in the world's top leagues. We're talking Premier League, La Liga, for allegedly getting yellow cards on purpose. Why would they do that? To cash in on very specific betting markets. When you can bet on something as small as a single booking, you create the perfect, low-risk, high-reward opportunity for corruption.
This quote absolutely nails it. The real danger isn't the big, clumsy sledgehammer of old-school match fixing anymore. It's the surgical precision of spot fixing. It's subtle, it's quiet, and it cuts right to the very heart of the game's integrity. I mean, think about it. If we can't even trust that a yellow card is genuine, what can we trust?
And make no mistake, this is a massive global problem. In 2025 alone, the integrity firm Sportx Radar flagged over 1,100 suspicious matches worldwide. And while that number is down just a little bit, football is still by far the #1 target, with over 600 of those cases. The threat is very real, and it is everywhere. So what's the worst-case scenario? What happens when this virus is just left to spread completely unchecked? For that, we have a pretty chilling case study, the 2025 Turkish football scandal. It's a stark warning of what total systemic failure looks like.
Okay, get this. In late 2025, an internal audit in Turkey discovered that 152 professional referees, the very people meant to be the impartial guardians of the rules, had active sports betting accounts. This wasn't just a few bad apples. The investigation found that 65% of all professional refs in the country had betting accounts, which is strictly forbidden by FIFA.
And the rot went even deeper than that. Over 1,000 players across the Turkish leagues were either suspended or referred for investigation. The whole scandal got so out of control that the federation had to suspend the lower leagues entirely, just to try and get a handle on it. This is what happens when the virus moves from the shirt to the dressing room, and finally to the referee's whistle.
Now, faced with this growing crisis, the industry has offered up some solutions. But the question is, are they real remedies, or are they just band-aids on bullet wounds? Let's take a look at why this whole voluntary self-regulation thing is pretty much doomed to fail.
Here's the kicker. The much-hyped ban on front-of-shirt sponsors, it's mostly for show. The data shows those logos account for less than 10% of all the betting ads you see during a match. So where's the other 90%? It's on the pitch side LED boards, the shirt sleeves, plastered all over the stadium, and none of that is going anywhere. See, the money doesn't just disappear, it just migrates, it moves. Banning the logo on the chest simply shuffles those same brands onto the shirt sleeves, the training gear, and those super bright LED boards that are constantly flashing at you from the side of the pitch. The ban gives the illusion of action, while the actual saturation of advertising just carries on. So, if these voluntary half measures aren't going to work, what will? Well, that brings us to the final part of this, finding a real antidote. And that means a total decoupling from the gambling industry and putting in some real independent regulation.
The way forward needs a clear, three-pronged attack. First, a real whistle-to-whistle ban on all stadium and broadcast advertising. No loopholes. Second, you have to empower independent regulators with actual teeth, the power to audit the finances of players and officials. And third, the punishments have to be severe. We're talking career-ending sanctions for anyone found guilty. The risk has to be way, way bigger than the reward.
It's pretty obvious that football is standing at a critical crossroads. It can keep going down this path, becoming more and more just a stage for the global betting market, or it can take some real, decisive action to get its integrity and its soul back.
And this, right here, is what's truly at stake. The whole magic of football, the reason we love it, is in its unscripted drama, its genuine moments of joy and heartbreak. If we lose our belief in that, if we start to suspect that it's all been sold to a bookmaker, then the sport loses the very thing that makes it so special. We lose everything.
So that leaves us with one final thought. The stakeholders in this game aren't just the clubs or the leagues, it's every single one of us who loves it. So I want to leave you with this question. If you had the power, what one rule change would you make tomorrow to finally cure football of this betting virus?